Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to talk about Tales of the Walking Dead. Overall review, thoughts, ranking?
Yeah, we'll do some rankings. Yeah, stay tuned for our Twitter as well. We're going to rank give our best to worst rankings of the episodes. But overall, it was a good thought process for Tales of the Walking Dead to kickstart it. New characters, new themes. Yes, we had the episode with Alpha, which changed some things. They didn't really break canon, but I think they had a couple missteps. I think we'll get into that. But
overall thoughts, would you say there was more good than bad or bad than good?
I would say there was more good than bad, but it's very close. Like the good,
it's very close, dude.
Yeah, it's very close. I can't really give a percentage, 60-40. I can't really give a percentage, but there was more good than bad.
There was more good than bad. I think it's 55 bad, 45 good.
Really? You think it was more bad?
That would mean that there's more bad than good.
There's more bad than good? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm with you. It's really close.
It's really close. Yeah, it's really close. I think, with giving us different aspects, we got very different stories, and we got different genres, you could say, as well. We got the zombie stuff. We got more of the kind of I don't know
what you call the episode of the guy that was labeled a murderer.
Yeah, I mean that was more like a murder mystery type thing.
Noir.
Yeah, it was a noir type murder mystery. We got kind of into the...
It wasn't even really that noirish.
Not really, but I mean...
because of the music that played?
Yeah, a little bit. And I think, we got into more, kind of get into the religious aspect of it with kind of, the... hearing voices, coming back from the dead, the demon. I wouldn't say demons, but it was just kind of different things in the episode. So let's go through each one.
Yeah, let's go through each one.
And so, we'll go over the episodes. So episode 1, Evie and Joe.
I liked this.
We love that one.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good story. Two people who, at first we thought they were looking for each other.
Which would have been really cool.
That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. In the end, it wasn't, but...
The psycho.
They were both survivalists.
The psycho lady.
Oh, the freaking Joker chick.
For me, that was like the best part.
That was insane.
She was psychotic, dude.
She was psychotic. And just think about how many people she's killed.
Yeah, dude. And just the whole feeding of the brownie and then and like putting on the makeup, like it went a full 180, even though like the onset you knew, okay, this lady, something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But no, that was good.
Yeah. So I mean, the two actors together, they have a lot of comedy in their background, and you could see that play out. And I think they did a great job with the comedy. It wasn't too over comedic. It was just little, comedic little lines that you'd find like if you were watching like The Office or something,
I was surprised at, what was it? Olivia Munn?
Olivia Munn, yeah.
I was surprised at I thought she did that character well.
She did great.
I was kind of worried, right? Because like, I don't know. I don't really...
We don't follow her work too often. I mean, she's did some good stuff. I mean, the one TV show that she was in with Jeff Daniels, the kind of the newsroom thing, she did really... I loved her character in that one.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
Terry Crews, I mean, he's just amazing.
That's Terry Crews.
He's Terry Crews. He's awesome in anything he's in. But yeah, I get a little nervous too when I see Olivia Munn and stuff. But they both did a great job. And now the overall story of that episode I thought was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Really good.
It was.
As far as we know, they survived. They're survivalists, so if they survive 10 years into where we're at in The Walking Dead, great. Would love to see more of them. But that wasn't a good episode. Episode 2 got a little crazy. This was Blair and Gina. This was one that is something that we'd never seen, of course, in The Walking Dead. It's two people sharing a memory. That we were confused whether or not they were dead the whole time.
It was Groundhog meets The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it was.
And I actually really enjoyed this. I know some people didn't like it.
Some people in the comments, they didn't really like it, but
I thought it was good.
We thought it was good.
It's good to take a different angle on The Walking Dead, and that's what this did, and that's what some of these episodes did. It's just that, like, when you have an episode, and not to go back to that one, the noir one, where there wasn't that many walkers at all in that, and it didn't feel like it was based on the apocalypse. it's good to take those turns when it's done right.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons we really loved this was because the timeline in this was like right at the beginning of the fall.
Yeah.
And we got in, it was in Atlanta, you know, where they were on the bridge, you could see the city behind, and we knew what's going to happen in that city. But
I think it was a missed
really
opportunity though to not throw some Easter eggs in there.
There kind of was. There was
because you know how I remarked to you that sitting at that gas station in that line just reminded me of Rick going up to that gas station and then walking down the aisle of cars.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know in the comments. I'm sure there was Easter eggs. I know one Easter egg was when Gina was looking at her phone, it said something about brain dead. So basically what she was reading was what some of the information that we got from Dr. Jenner.
Yeah.
You know, she was talking about how they were talking about how the brain just dies and something happens. And so I thought that was really cool. We missed it in the episode, but somebody tweeted us and showed a picture of it. I was like, oh, she was actually reading an article about the brain dying.
Maybe there was a lot more that we didn't notice.
I'm sure there was. Yeah. So I mean, overall, it was a wacky episode. Those two, I don't know how long they'd be able to survive, unfortunately. But if they have, great.
Did they survive, though? That's the thing.
Were they alive? Were they dead?
Was it a dream the whole time? Did they die at the gas station the whole time?
That's what a lot of people said. So a lot of people said at that first explosion, they were dead.
Yeah.
And then what we saw were just them in the afterlife, just kind of going through the memories of like a Groundhog Day.
Until they make their own relationship right.
Exactly. Yeah. Until they right their wrongs and they become friends. And who knows? Yeah. Who knows? So it was a good episode. It was a interesting one. Episode 3, we won't spend long on this, but this was D, Alpha.
I think that we spent a lot of time reviewing that, which is why we probably won't go into too much detail. But to me, obviously, the best episode.
It was the best episode. The only thing that I think really kind of upset fans and made them confused was how the different versions that were told. So in The Walking Dead, we were led to believe of how they did the flashback scenes, of course, with her and Beta, that Alpha and Beta basically created the Whisperers together. And what we saw in D is that's not the case. The Whisperers were already created by Hera, and eventually Alpha will challenge Hera and takes her face off because Hera has a blonde hair, and Alpha eventually becomes Alpha. And in the timeline, I think it's like a 2-year gap between the events of what happened at the end of that episode to when she meets Beta. So what we were thinking is that she left somehow, something happened, she left, she met Beta, she has a strong power now, she goes back with Beta, challenges Hera, and becomes Alpha. So that was kind of the big kind of thing that fans were kind of pissed about.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge. I'm sorry, that's not a huge problem
for me. That's small to be pissed about, right? Yeah. Like, for me, I think it fit because we've saw this from Dee before, where she's a part of a group, but just feels like it's almost like she thinks she's better than them, and can easily like take over and show her will, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw that in the group with Baltimore, where she essentially told them what to do after she murdered her husband.
Yeah.
We saw that with this episode where she was, just took charge, I guess, once everything went down.
Yeah.
But then obviously we see it again in the Whisperers because she takes over for the Whisperers. So
yeah, I mean, you could say Hera started the early version of the Whisperers, and when Alpha took over, she completely revamped and changed it.
But that's the thing, we don't truly know.
We don't know. So hopefully AMC, please do a spinoff of Alpha, because fans would want that.
See, and like what I see is like amazing. What I see is Hera probably had those masks, and that Whisperer faction probably more or less just walked around and ran around just to get by the walkers,
just to hide. Yeah,
but like the full on walk and acting like the walkers,
that was all
hurting them.
Alpha and Beta, for sure.
That has to be.
Yeah, for sure. So I think in the end, Alpha and Beta really culminated and made their ways into what we know of the Whisperers. The early stuff, I don't care that Hera started it. Great. She's not the leader anymore. She's not going to last very much longer once Alpha gets there. So it was cool. It was a good episode. Episode 4. This is kind of where we start taking a little bit of a downward spiral in our excitement for episodes. So episode 4 was Amy and Dr. Everett. This was taking place 10 years in, so they were around the 10-year timeline of where World Beyond was, and
to me, this was
we just didn't like it.
It was not exciting at all.
No.
And there was
some cool stuff of what Dr. Everett was studying. We did enjoy that, but it didn't amount to anything because he's the only one, and this research is only for him.
Yeah,
it's not going
I
anywhere.
didn't get the premise. I kind of did, but like I don't know.
He just hated it. He blamed humanity for this, and he doesn't trust humanity to fix it. He's trying. See, here's the thing. He's trying to find all these fixes, but it's only for you.
Yeah,
you don't want to. You hate humanity,
and you're not sharing that.
You're not sharing it.
Yeah.
So there's no point.
Makes no sense. Yeah, I don't think there's much with this one because honestly, it was my least favorite. I think.
Yeah, I mean the Amy character. I liked her to a point. She was trying to be friendly. She says you have to believe in humanity. We have to get people back together. She was trying to get back to her people, and I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, and
trying to work with somebody who really wants to stay on their own, really wants to be exiled. She got through to him to a point, but unfortunately her end, she died trying to help her crew, who eventually ran into a massive horde apparently. But other than them being on, we know that one side of that crater or whatever is filled with life and they're in the dead zone. That was kind of cool. But other than that, wasn't really a great episode. Yeah. And then we get into episode 5, Davon, the noir episode. This one, it's
another one that I just didn't like.
You guys know from our reaction as well. It really wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
No. Now there was something that came out of this episode that we did not know. I don't know if I think I mentioned it to you. There was an Easter egg in there. Apparently, Davon had a PPP card.
Really?
Yes.
No, you did not mention that.
I didn't mention it to you.
No.
So when he was in bed and he woke up and they were in front of him, and he was like, "Oh, where's my stuff?" or whatever, and they gave him like his wallet or his jeans or something. He pulled out of his wallet. Remember the picture showing kind of probably his family?
Yeah.
He was holding a PPP card. So that's a really good reference to Tara
and Heath
and Enid, or Enid and Heath.
Yeah.
Is he related to Heath? He was trying to get to Montreal. I don't know. We don't know, but but here's the thing though. That's what sucks is that even in The Walking Dead, they never touched about that damn card ever again. Nothing. So we're getting it in Tales. Most people missed it. Of course we did. What are they going to do about it?
It's a dead end.
Nothing.
Unfortunately.
Nothing.
But yeah. I mean, anything that is, I think smaller like that is kind of left open, we're not going to get any answers for.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. Unless something comes up where Heath is in the Rick movie.
But they already confirmed Heath's dead.
No,
Didn't Angela Kang already confirm that?
No. Not that he's dead. He's just he was sold to CRM by Jadis. But that was our question: is he an A or a B?
Yeah,
I would say Heath is probably an A, a test subject, not a B. But
unfortunately,
who knows? But yeah, this one, it was an interesting theme. It was an interesting theme. It was a murder mystery. The flashbacks that they showed were really quick. They gave some context, but not too much. But what they really didn't dive into was what the mother was doing.
She was covering up for her son.
She was covering up for her son, but what I didn't really like though is they didn't really go into that any further.
They used the flashbacks to go into that, which is naturally what you want to do. I mean, she was maintaining the kids, down there. She was hiding them. I don't think
she was killing kids.
No, she was. How would you think?
Well, don't you remember when he went downstairs? That kid that was chained up, he was dead
because of what her son had done.
Now I don't know if
because
she was covering.
He showed him essentially killing that, or he was going to kill that kid.
But I think he was
that was chained or cornered, right?
But I think what he was doing was continuing his mother's work. because she was gone.
No, because there's a line where she says something about protecting what her son had done.
That's true. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she was protecting. I don't know. It kind of made it sound like, because when she hit the freaking fish and killed it, she said this weird, like, death is whatever line.
Yeah, but she also made a line about something with the children as well. So it let us know, guys. It made it sound like either they were both doing it or she was covering for her son that was doing it. It just made it seem like she was the mastermind killing the kids.
I think it was the other way around.
Because the kids shouldn't be alive in this world.
Yeah,
but it could have been the son and she was covering.
I think it was the other way around. I think he was the mastermind and she was covering up for her broken psycho son.
Or they were both doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, it was interesting. It was in a different part of the United States. It was up in Maine. I don't know if we got a timeline of when this was. I think it was a few years in, potentially. I think it was a couple years in, I think, in the timeline. But it was interesting. Wasn't great, but not bad.
Yeah.
And then we get to the finale. And
if you could call it a finale.
If you saw our reaction, we didn't like it at all.
No.
Episode 6, LaDonna. You know, I didn't mind some of it, but there was just a lot of bad in that episode.
There was a couple of walkers in that episode.
It really wasn't about the walkers.
It wasn't.
It
was more about a haunted house.
Haunted house, the demons. What we really found out is that those two, or I think the guy, was a killer.
Yeah.
He killed a lot of people, and she was just
okay with it,
covering her eyes of it. Like
turning the blind.
She knew who she knew who he was. Like she knew it, and in the end, they both killed each other because they just didn't trust each other. But the haunting of the woman that they supposedly killed, it was just weird. It didn't fit. A lot of religious overtones.
Yeah, and look, I said this to you after we were done recording. Look, I'm Christian. I typically don't get mad at that stuff, and I didn't really get mad about this, right? You have to take a step back and realize that this is a show.
Yeah.
That they're going to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. The Jesus is coming off the cross.
Yeah.
Was a little bit much.
It was a little much. There were some people in the comments too that just couldn't. They couldn't stand that scene.
And you know me.
Yeah.
I rarely get pissed off about that stuff, but I questioned how angry I was when I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, we get it. I mean, it's not that they're saying they're anti-Christian or anything like that. It was
and I'm not saying they are.
Just seeing that aspect of it. There were a lot of people in the comments that didn't like this episode either. They were like, there was somebody who said, they basically tried watching it 3 times to finally finish it because they just couldn't get into it.
I completely get that.
Yeah.
Just to go back, you could have done something better than that.
I think you
really could have.
I think you could have. I mean, keeping the haunting part of it would have been fine. I think if they took a lot of the religious overtones out of it and not made it so in the foreground, not to say that you can't, but I just think it wasn't done very well, to be honest. And
no, I completely agree.
It just didn't go with the style that I thought that episode was going to go.
You can make someone religious and have a haunting that is much more terrifying than a bunch of Jesuses jumping off the cross and CGI bullshit.
Right. I mean, we love the scenes where she was looking in the mirror and she thought she was being choked.
That was good.
That was cool. Something like that.
The friend at the gate was cool.
That was cool. Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That shit was just ridiculous.
It was weird. Yeah. So, I mean, in the end, guys, in a sense, we enjoyed the first 3 episodes. The rest were just not that great. Not that great at all. So what do you think? You want to rank them now or afterwards?
Yeah, let's rank them.
All right, so best to worst.
Best to worst?
Best to
obviously, worst. D is best for me.
Yep, episode 3 for D.
Yep.
Then I would say Evie and Joe.
Is that the first one?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And then Blair and Gina.
And then Blair and Gina.
And then
we're gonna go.
I would say probably in that order right there: Amy and Dr. Everett, Devon, and then LaDonna. What'd you think?
God, that's tough.
That would be for me.
That's really tough.
I liked Amy. I liked Amy and Dr. Everett more than Devon.
Yeah, correct. I'm with you. Are we saying that the haunted one, LaDonna, is the worst?
For me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that as the worst as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the list right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So look for it on Twitter, guys. Also put in the comments.
Let us know your
rankings as well. But I think they set a good platform if they're going to do season 2. Now, we haven't heard that season 2 is a go, but I think what I heard is that they didn't title this finale as the series finale. They titled it as a season finale. So I think they are planning to do more. I mean,
I think this is awesome, but you know what I would love to see? And look, I know it's a Walking Dead, but I guess get some fear stuff in there. And you know what would be a really great opportunity is if you brought some of Althea's taped characters and did a whole episode on them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That bank vault guy, that banker.
Yeah.
Be freaking awesome to see a story behind that.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, guys, Fear the Walking Dead kind of did some webisodes. They were called the Althea tapes. Yeah. And I think it was about 4 or 5 of them. They followed these characters that apparently a couple of them were in our crew, but it was off camera. They were not in the main series, of course. But
the OCD chick. Amazing.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. So check that out. We'll put links in the description. You can check out the reactions, but we would love to see them do some fear stuff. Yeah. Bring some fear characters. There's a lot of missing characters that we would love to see more of, get more backstories on. There's a ton more in The Walking Dead too, but with them saying that Tales is going to be a lot of new characters and old characters, we got D, Alpha, of course. It just really depends on what previous characters are going to do, because those actors are older now. Yeah. You have to make them look a little younger. Or depending on where in the timeline you put those before they met our group, and some of them are dead. So we've mentioned before that Stephen Yen, who played Glenn, has said he's not returning.
I think he's come to peace
he's come to peace. He's done with the
Walking Dead universe. Yeah.
So go see him in Invincible. We need season 2 ASAP. Robert Kirkman. But yeah, I mean, I'm very hopeful if they do a season 2 that they can come up with some more, hopefully, good stories and good themes. But
Simon.
Oh, Simon, yeah.
Simon.
You got to get Simon. Yeah,
for
sure.
one, that actor is freaking amazing.
Oh, Stephen Ogg.
Dude, he's amazing. He's so good. But that character is pretty freaking good too, and I'd like to see almost an origin story for that guy.
We want to see him up to the point where he meets Negan.
Yeah. Oh God.
How does Negan recruit him, man? I want to see that shit. Dude. Yeah. So I mean, if I had to rank this first season of Tales out of 10,
give it a 6.
Yeah, I'd have to be a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I think overall 6 out of 10 for this season for us, for sure. Yeah. Let us know your rankings in the comments as well. But we're hopeful for season 2. We hope they come up with some more stuff, bring back some older characters, maybe do an episode like that, figure something out. They got plenty of material they can do. Just be careful when you are doing those older characters to go back and look at The Walking Dead and make sure you're not breaking or messing with any canon shit. So we're not like, wait, what?
You're a stickler about the canon. That's because you're a Star Wars fan.
Well, it's anything. You can't break canon. Because if you break it,
there's no repairing it.
You can't repair it. So, anything else on Tales?
No, I'm good. Let's close this chapter.
Let's go, guys. So, we thank you guys so much for checking out the reactions for Tales. We had so much fun recording those, watching those, and reacting with you guys as well. And stay tuned for more info on Tales of the Walking Dead as it comes out. And we will see you guys soon. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out.